It's Monday morning and we're in the car about to head up to the wee gym, which is a wee gym. It isn't commercial, so it's quite small. It's basically in a tin box, and it's going to be bloody freezing because Martin is having to scrape the car right now. Yeah, it's a cold morning. The dashboard on the car dash is telling us it's -1 centigrade. So I'm a wee bit worried about it. I am still feeling sore after my workout on Saturday, which was a lower body workout, and today thankfully it's an upper body workout. But anyway, that's us, we're ready to go. It's feeling a bit early to be doing it, but we've got a lot to be doing, so onwards and upwards. Upper body workout is complete. That was really good fun, wasn't it, Martin?
Very good fun.
That was great fun. We worked really super hard, and yeah, and my lower body is not as sore as it was this morning, so that's good as well. So that's us finishing up there. Go and get ready for the working day now. Home from the gym, and the upper body workout is complete, and this is what I'm eating to replenish myself. I have chocolate chia pudding with cacao nibs. I've got some Greek yogurt, blueberries, flax seeds, banana, hunters and nuts, and some dried fruit in there, and of course some water as well. Welcome. It's a new vlog, and this vlog I think is going to take you through a week in the life. So it's Monday. I'm late getting started. It's 11 o'clock or just after, because we were ages at the gym this morning. We had a couple of hours of a session there, and then I had some chores to do after. I've had my shower and I'm all set to go. I have the replay of our Patreon Kaylee event from yesterday uploading, and I am now going to finish working on the page that I started yesterday. Yeah, I think I could have spent 3 to 5 hours on the exercise that we were working on. That's really interesting for me. It's been a while since I had exercises that are really going to take me 3 to 5 hours to complete, so I'm quite excited by that. Excuse the shaky footage. I'm holding on to my phone, and actually it was upper body today, so my arms got a fair workout. My shoulders are really tired. I'm gonna have to put the phone down because actually my right shoulder and bicep are burning. So there we go. You'll see some of what I'm about to do in the page, and I'll put this on a tripod so it'll stop shaking. This is a candle that I made myself last year sometime. I haven't made candles in ages, but these were some nice crystal glasses from the charity shop down the road. St Andrew's Hospice is a local hospice care centre, and the charity shop is there to raise funds for it. So I buy some houseware from there and use it in this kind of way. So a wee crystal glass, some soy wax candles, just with a wick, a ready-made wick. I don't do the wicks myself, I just buy them ready-made and put them in. So this is some leftover kind of oils to scent it. I can't remember what's in it because I made it so long ago, but I always like to have a candle in or on the altar, should I say, whilst I'm working on some art, especially if, you know, it's this kind of connected art. It isn't just random sketching. I'm in the middle of cleaning out my cupboards and I'm reorganising them, so this is why all of these dishes are here on my table. And this is what the state of play looks like in terms of lunch. This is Martin's plate. It's like Goldilocks here. He's got the Big Daddy plate. He's having leftovers from yesterday on top of spinach salad, red cabbage, grated carrot, all together with a wee mustard parsley dressing there. I've got the same salad with the cabbage and carrots with the dressing on it. Martin is going to have some leftover bean salad with his leftovers that are coming out of the oven pretty soon. We're going to have some boiled eggs. Yep, Martin is now eating eggs, going from fully vegan to eating eggs. I am pretty much eating everything these days, although in the house we're pretty much whole food, plant-based, but I do have animal protein, including eggs, and today I'm gonna have some tuna. So that's albacore tuna there and some beetroot I'm gonna add to this guy with my eggs. And I'm also gonna have some rye bread with hummus on it as well. I need some carbohydrates. I'm pretty low on carbs today, so we don't have much going on in the house, but there is a couple of slices of rye bread, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Doing a wee bit of singing there, Martin.
Singing one tunes as well.
You're the best. Do you want any beetroot? No. Yes? Do you want some hummus as a sauce for yours?
I think so.
Okay. How do you feel about your lunch?
I'm not quite sure I'm going to manage it all, to be honest.
It's a bit mega, isn't it? It's a bit
That's
epic.
great.
Yeah, maybe the 2 boiled eggs was maybe too many.
Yeah, we'll see.
Lunch has been eaten and this is the state of play. I inked my letter just before lunch and I've inked this page. I added a couple of wee elements in there. Yeah, I just wanted to add something extra. I feel like this, I haven't really created a moon, I've created a sun, as is my way, and I'm wondering whether to turn it into a winter sun or whether to try and make it more moon-like. That's where I'm at, and it's quite funny to be doing a winter piece with some spring-like daffodils. Anyway, yeah, it's time for colour. I'm going to use some gouache paint and see what I come up with next, but I'm really enjoying this day. I think working late last night because we finished after 9, and then by the time I wind down it does take it out of me a wee bit, so it's nice to continue to make art the next day. Yep, I've got planning to do, yep, I've got admin to do, but this is my priority, so that's why I am doing it right now, and also really enjoying it. It's feeling very nourishing for this body, this soft animal body. Okay, I've had another break. I made some hot chocolate. Yeah, I wanted some sweetness. And this is where I've got to on my page. So I did drop the brush here and got blue paint everywhere. I've actually got blue paint all over my clothes as well. Anyway, and I did try and mop it up to see if I could get the blue paint away, but I just got the page really wet and now it's buckled, which is a shame because I've been paying attention to keeping it dry on the page to stop it from buckling too much. Anyway, on this paper, which is just ordinary, quite thin, quite lightweight cartridge paper, it's not watercolour paper. And watercolour paper, I would have been able to lift that off, but the colour just soaked right in. And when I put water on it, all it did was make it wet. Anyway, no problem about that. I've got another session to go. This is the cold, dark, frosty outlook. And this is going to be a window out. This is the moon-ish, rather than turning it into the sun. And now I'm going to work on this bit here as an internal piece. And when I was doing this exercise, I had an impression of two kinds of views that I was particularly enamoured with this winter. So that's what I'm going to be working with here. This is in fact inspired by an external pattern out in winter. So essentially it should have been in here if I was keeping that only as outside and this only as inside. But you know, we can do what we like here, you know. There's no rules here. This vine, which is actually based on a blackthorn thorns. So that's the blackthorn thorns, but of course a blackthorn doesn't grow like this. You know, we can do yeah, we can do what we like. We have artistic license. So, you know, I'm going to play around with this, but anyway, you'll see what I'm doing. I just wanted to check in because I think I did most of this without filming it, just so that I could get close to it for these wee bits particularly. It's really hard for me these days to see properly this fine detail, so I needed to get really quite close to it in order to be able to do it and not make too much of a mess. Obviously this is just journal work, it's not super precious, so it's okay, but anyway, that's me. So I just started to fill this in ink, and I realised that I was using a water-based ink, so when I did the background it is going to spread this ink around, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to do my background first in paint, and then I'm going to come back and do the ink, which is what I should have done in the first place. I'm not quite thinking. I think I've gone into this quite spaced out zone and yeah, it's delightful, but also I'm not quite thinking about what I'm doing, so I need to get back on it. Anyway, I wanted to do a kind of orangey yellow here, so I've just mixed up two of my yellows. And this is going to be the background here. So I'm really contrasting some warm colours with these cool colours here. But if I had filled all of this in, then I'm really going to stand the chance of spreading that black ink everywhere. And I don't want to do that. This liner that I've used is waterproof. And if I'd thought about it, I would have used a alcohol-based marker rather than a water-based marker for the ink. Or anyway, I was going to say waterproof ink, but I don't think I've got any black waterproof ink around. So we'll just keep working with the background just now, and then once it's dry, I'll go back in with the black pen. It's just easier than painting. I'm quite a messy painter. I'm not really one for fine detail, as you know. So it's easier for me to do these letters in pen. But you can see here already, perhaps. Let's move this over. You can see here already that that ink is bleeding just because I've touched it with my wet paint. So obviously I didn't want that to happen. So I am going to continue working with my paint before I lay down any more ink. And we'll just have to take what we get here. I'm going to try not to touch, but you know, it's going to happen. It's okay, it's just a journal page. There's nothing perfect happening. I can't paint perfectly, it's just not my way, so I don't have that level of expertise or patience, and that's all right. It's also really quite hard to do when I'm sitting at a silly angle because I'm filming what I'm doing. Oh, I'm a wee bit annoyed at myself because now that I've put the background on here, I really like the lettering left white. I think it really works better than if it was super dark. So I'm annoyed at myself that I've already done it here, and you can't see it, there we go, here as well. I feel that I have to kind of continue with it, but I don't like that I've done it. But anyway, that's what I've done. What I'm gonna do here is fill in this background. I've got too much paint on my brush. And my original intention was to make this black, but I'm really not enjoying the black of those letterings, of those letters on the inside, so I've just kind of taken what paint was on my palette there and added some more blue and black to it. It was mainly a browny blue colour, a bluey browny colour. So that's what I'm going to do here. So this is more clearly linked now rather than being this inside blackness with the glowing kind of yellowy light that I was trying to introduce. It now seems to be more of a kind of continuation of that view that I was seeing when I was looking out my window. And I really can't paint in this position. I don't know why I've set the tripod up like this. When I say tripod, of course it's not a tripod, it's just a stand that's attached to my desk. And I don't usually have it right in front of my face, so I'm really not able to see what I'm doing properly. I'm well back and my eyesight is just not good enough. I've got these very multifocal glasses, and you know, I'm in the wrong position to be using them to the best advantage. I'm actually due to get another pair. I'm due to get my eyes tested in a couple of weeks, and I think I'm going to switch up my specs this time maybe not. I always panic and just get the lenses put in the same frame, because when you wear glasses every day, they really do become part of your face. So I'm gonna stop filming so that I can get closer and make a slightly better job of this than I'm doing right now. Okay, I am really liking what I've created here, but I don't want to fill these words in black ink. That's just going to spoil the whole piece. Now I have to solve the issue of making this black white, and the same for here. And I see I've missed a bit of yellow here. So that's going to be a problem because this is water-based ink. What am I going to do? If I used gouache, it's just going to bleed. If I use a white ink pen, it's just going to bleed. So I can look out some acrylic white paint, which is what I'm going to do, and see if that will help things. All right, because I've brought some stuff back from the other studio, I have this acrylic colour. You can see that that's what it's going to look like here on black, but if I build up a few layers, then we might get some semblance of it. This bit's going to be tricky up here. I might have to paint it all in white and then start again. I don't know what's going to happen there, but let's give it a go. Oh, I'm shaking everything up. I've got this masking fluid brush, which I'm going to use because I want a reasonably fine point on it. So I'm just taking the paint from the lid here. I'm going to use a bit of scrap paper as a palette because I don't have an acrylic palette to hand, and just see if I can get this fine enough to work on this. So we can see straight away that, you know, one coat isn't going to do it. It's very grey. I know that it was just a lapse in concentration when I sat down to work on this, and you know, I did have an idea that it was going to be black with yellow, but you know, always you should start with the bit that, you know, is more clear. And I wasn't thinking about how putting black onto this page was going to affect it. So this is clearly not the same, right? But what's happened is it's turned this kind of bluey colour, almost similar to what's going on here. And that isn't bad, right? I could live with that. If I had to make that whole word the same denim-y blue colour, then I could live with that. Let's see what happens though if I try and put some more paint on top. Okay, you know, it's going to come a little bit whiter if I can give it a moment to dry and then build up this colour. But it may be that I decide to just paint this the denim blue because I have no patience and I really want to get this finished because I haven't uploaded the video to Patreon platform yet, and it's actually dark now, so you know, I need to be finishing up soon. I did start a wee bit later today, as I said, but yeah, this is not going to solve this bit here, so that's going to be denim. I just don't think this is going to get white enough for me. And obviously I've still got this mark that I made by dropping the brush. I really do like this piece, so I wish I'd left more little circles. I wish I'd left more space for those in the piece, but I really like them. Alright, I'm gonna switch it around and give this here. These are words from a Joni Mitchell song. I hardly ever listen to Joni Mitchell anymore. It's funny. I really don't, you know, she's not really often on my playlists, but her lyrics come to me quite often. And yesterday, when I was working on this piece, it was one of the lyrics that came to me at the beginning of this exercise that we did in our Kaylee. So this is just knocking the colour back so it's not as intense with the black, which, yeah, just wasn't working. And, you know, it was a mistake to use the black ink pen, the water-based ink pen. But in all honesty, I hadn't meant to put the pen on, but, you know, likely if I'd done the background first, I would have been happy with it and just left it. You know, I wouldn't have started the black, even though, you know, I'm not pretending that I wasn't going to do it black in the first place. I was. But if I had just done this yellow in the beginning, I would have been happy to leave it like this. I just think that works so well with the piece. Anyway, let's see, it doesn't matter. We'll try and recover. This is really not very neat at all, but at least I'm covering up the black pretty much. You know, but the actual text is not very clear now. And that's okay. Everything is okay. That's my lesson today. But also, I can't believe how long this has taken me. I've been working on this for hours. I think sometimes I get really in the zone when I'm painting, and even though I'm not a great painter, I do enjoy it, and I take my time over it. And even this, you know, I've been taking my time. So I like that much better now that it's knocked back. I think I'm going to leave it for a wee while, come back and put some more layers of white on that and see how far we get before I make the decision on whether to put some denim coloured on here, which I think is going to have to be as my truth. I don't think I can get that super white. It's not going to look like this either way. What I am going to do before I forget, however, is just fill in that wee bit there. Okay, I'm here. I'm going to finish it with the denim because I don't have patience to wait and I want to get this uploaded. It's now 6 o'clock. Martin is home from his travels and we've just had a catch up, but I want to get this done and uploaded. So I'm listening to On Being podcast. And, you know, look, it's not a bad match. It's not perfect, but we've already agreed that perfection is not the aim here.
We say, what puzzle can we turn our attention to? Yeah. In fact, and this is a huge tip.
It's quite late now, but it's taken me this long to get things ready to post the replay on the Patreon Classroom website. So that's that done. I am done for the day. I'm shutting down. There we go. Proof that I'm shutting down. It's 18:53. It's now time to go make dinner. And yeah, that'll be me for today. Alright, it is almost 7 o'clock. It's really quite late for me to be eating dinner. This is what we're having tonight. We're having coconut mango lime stir fry with some of this, which is my favourite tofu, except I prefer the smoked version. Some rice noodles, ready in 4 minutes, serves 2. And some edamame beans, stir fry veg, ready in 5 minutes. I know we really should avoid all of this plastic packaging by making our own, but hey, you know, we usually just eat vegetables and tins of beans, so occasionally break out one of these bad boys when we need something quick and easy and tasty. I think we'll put some sesame seeds on it. White or black?
Black.
This is one of our resident pigeons. It's on our windowsill. Can't really see him. Don't want to go any closer. There he is. Tucked in for the night. So we're not saints, and one of the things about going to the gym is we're starving all the time. We're really hungry. I'm having lemon cheesecake. Martin is having strawberry plant-based cheesecake. Mine, of course, is not. Mine has real cheese in it. From the Marks and Spencer's, which is a wee treat for us. We don't usually have things like this through the week. But we bought a 2-pack at the weekend and we didn't get around to eating them at the weekend, so this is the final ones, and then it'll be back to a cup of tea for night time, but for tonight it's cheesecake.